Welcome, everyone. I'm your host, Nicholas Haffter von Heide. I have a special guest with us today, Michael Fahrner from Rowan University. Thank you for joining us.
Hello, thank you.
Well, not only for Rowan University, but so much other stuff. And I can't wait to dive in like we did on the podcast just before this, uh, giving a strong shout out to your step into getting your doctorate at Temple University. Congratulations on making that step.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
And so, why don't we get started with this and start with your first musical experience, whether that be a keyboard, oboe, piano, or euphonium?
Yeah, so there's a not so secret to that is that I started on trumpet, and I don't like to admit it, but that was fifth grade, and I played trumpet for about 2 months. Not maybe not even. I don't even know if I made it to the Christmas concert on trumpet. That first middle school concert. I don't even know if I did Jingle Bells on trumpet. And I couldn't play it. It was terrible, absolutely terrible. And we had this old, it must have been a King or something, bell front baritone, American euphonium thing, whatever you call those. And the teacher stuck in my hand, and it worked. And that's really when I started. I didn't do much other than your average school enrichment. I didn't really do anything before band. I just knew I wanted to be in band, so I went and did it, and that's how we got there.
So one day you're bringing home a trumpet, and the next day you're bringing home a baritone.
Yeah, well, the trumpet, it was actually my sister's trumpet. She played in high school, so I was playing that. It was either the trumpet or the drums. And part of me to this day still should have picked the drums. But um and then I couldn't play, like, I couldn't play a G on the treble clef, a trumpet in B flat G. I couldn't play that after a few months. I couldn't do it. And the teacher handed me this instrument, and I think in the first thing I went from, low B flat to like a high F. Which ironic, well, not high F, not the really high one, but just an F, which ironically is the same G that I couldn't hit on trumpet. Don't know why I could play it on euphonium and not trumpet, but it just worked better. And that was it. That's what I played from that moment on. And it was fun because I was playing this weird old instrument that no one else was doing. I was the only one in the school doing that
As a fifth
in
grader.
middle school. Yeah, as a fifth grader, right?
Okay. So when you took that baritone out to the car that first day, and your parents, I'm assuming you took the bus or you got picked up.
I don't know. Sometimes I'd be picked up, sometimes I take it home. Uh, I think there was a little surprise from my mom. There was definitely a little surprise. I was a small kid. I was that classic small, like, if you watch Stranger Things, Will on that, that kind of like really little kid. And I couldn't carry it because I had a really, really heavy plastic case, a big heavy plastic case. I could, that, I'm sure you've experienced those in your life. I couldn't carry it. And my mom was pregnant with my little brother at the time, and she had to carry it to school for me because I couldn't carry it home. I couldn't do it. I wasn't strong enough. It was really silly. So she definitely, I think, was frustrated about that, but was just happy that I was playing and just having fun. That's what you want for your middle school kid, is to enjoy what they're doing and not complaining, but not be complaining, right?
So you eventually gave your trumpet back to your sister, right?
I think I gave her $20 for it 10 years later. I think that's what happened.
So kind of bringing about your current social media feed, being kind of photobombing your trumpet studio there over at. I'm assuming that's at Temple University. You took that picture.
No, that was at Rowan. That's Dr. Appleby Weinberg, our trumpet professor. That's his studio. I needed a room to teach in because I was playing in one room, but it was too close to a music industry professor who couldn't hear the work because it was not the right type of room for a brass instrument. And he was like, "Well, you can't teach in there. Come use my office." So I used his office, and I was trying to. I don't know. I don't know if I was supposed to be there.
Now, does that professor know that your background on trumpet?
I don't think so. I don't think we've talked about that before. And I tried to pretend like it didn't exist because it was only 2 months.
But it
Because
was two
really,
months.
I didn't do it. I really didn't. there was no success at all. I don't think I had any success at all. So is it really, was I doing it if there was no success? I don't know. And then I can pretend I was always a euphonium player.
Sure. I mean, if you want to take one step further, going into the whole brass band side, treble clef, brass band,
Yeah. No, actually, I did play. I will admit, I did play treble clef for about until sophomore year of high school.
Oh, so you
I
took,
was a treble clef player.
okay, okay, so you didn't, that makes sense.
I
That's
think though
funny.
that might have been my middle school band teacher. She was a violin player, and part of it is I think I was already knew a few notes on trumpet, just a couple, right, just from C to G, and she didn't want to reteach me how to read bass clef. So she just had me do the treble clef because we have the baritone treble clef copies. I
I
think
mean,
that's
that's
what
fair.
happened.
That's fair. That's fair. I mean, that's not unusual or not typical. So, it is what it is. So, what was it like being the only baritone player at your middle school?
Yeah, I mean it was at the time fun because it was an identity. I was the that one, and in my head then I was like, oh, I got to a bigger instrument. I'm gonna play tuba and play an even bigger one, which is silly. That's how middle schoolers think. Except I never made it to the tuba. I never wanted to keep going bigger. Um, and it just was very quickly an identity for me. And it always has been. And is that good or bad? I don't know. But it always was an identity, very much like I'm the one who plays baritone. And we called it baritone at the time. We didn't know the euphonium was a word yet. Um, we called it baritone. I
So,
have a picture. I don't know. You have a podcast. You probably don't want a picture, do you?
I do want a picture because this will be a kind of an all-encompassing platform. We'll have the podcast as those that hear or have heard the beginnings of this segment before we started our video feed, and we'll continue after the video feed. So check us out on the podcast form if on your favorite podcast. Oh, that's awesome! Wow, man, that's pretty awesome. So,
Yeah. So you see, I tried to make this sling for this marching band thing. I couldn't even carry it. I
oh,
couldn't
that's
carry it. The sling didn't work. It was a whole mess.
okay. So let me see here. Is there a way I can do this? Okay, I'm going to share screen. Share. Okay, there it is. For those that are watching, there he is. Michael Fahrner on the baritone. That's really cool. Hold on, is that a the strap to kind of hold it to your body, or
Yeah,
is
that was an improvised sling that we were trying to hold the instrument up with the body, but it totally didn't work. It just didn't work at all. I think my dad put it on the horn and it just absolutely didn't work.
that's awesome though? I mean, even then you had a really good embouchure. It looks like good corners.
Yeah, it good corners, a little low, little low on the bottom lip, but little, but you
I
do what
mean,
you got to do.
we're
I'm
not
also
even
hunched over trying to
yeah,
carry
exactly.
it.
We're not considering posture on that, but that's really awesome. Today we my kids are doing the Spirit Spectacular, and so I have three of the kids going to be at the stadium tonight in actually about 3 hours. They'll be doing their marching band show, their unveiling with their new uniforms and all that good stuff. Much like you're probably doing at this with that picture with your local high school band, maybe.
I think that was Memorial Day.
Oh, that's cool. Memorial Day. Very
Yeah.
nice.
And
Very
that picture
nice.
was middle school. That was I think sixth grade.
Oh, that was sixth
That
grade.
picture.
Awesome.
Yeah, I think that was sixth grade.
So were you planning on utilizing this photo?
What do you mean?
Oh, to dropping it and sharing it
Oh
with
yeah,
everyone.
I've got like five photos pulled up already.
Oh,
I was
okay.
prepared.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, is this pre-high school or is this including high school?
Yeah, this is pre-high school. Oh, I got a little bit in high school too. Yeah.
Okay, well, send them all across, but I also
I'll
Let's
send them in chronological order here.
Okay, so man, this is cool. It's like a live photo scrapbook in a way.
Yeah, thank you, my parents, for taking photos.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, this wouldn't, I wouldn't have any of this.
So let's go back to sharing. So what
And
are
it goes right to the end of high school.
so we'll only gonna I think we might only cover middle school since you have all these
That's
really cool
okay.
photos. So this is actually on
Um,
Cinco de Mayo, huh?
I guess so, huh? Yeah, 2007.
That's cool.
Um, so this was middle school all state. This must have been,
Hold on,
I think this was seventh grade.
all state and middle school. How
Yep.
does that work?
So
That's
that,
cool.
so that was New Hampshire, and it's a lot of states just call it honor band, but it was the same. Uh, I don't, I don't know if it was audition based. I don't think I took an audition. All of my students in middle school, at least around South Jersey, there's the South Jersey Band Association has a actual audition based middle school thing. I don't know if I took an audition or if my teacher just had to put in for me. I'm not exactly sure how it worked. But this was a big moment because it was called All State, and I was one of like three euphonium players who went to it
That's
in the
really
state that
cool.
year.
Now
Yeah, and
was
we borrowed that instrument from the high school for it.
so you didn't want to use the bell front.
Yeah.
How's the switch going from conical to cylindrical like that?
I mean, it did. I mean, it's also a bigger instrument. Even
Hmm.
ignoring the cylindrical part, the bore is a little is gets much bigger, much faster. Obviously,
Oh,
the lead pipe bore is the same.
so you were on
Um,
a small a small shank, then you went up to maybe a medium or a large.
well, so this one, so the baritone was a small shank. This is a Yamaha 321, so that's a small
Okay.
shank as well. But the bore on euphonium is so much bigger. So I have what most people experience is you play it and you're like, whoa, it's got this boomy type of sound instead of that narrow brassy type of sound that I think defines the modern more of the euphonium is that bigger, really almost tuba. I don't like saying that, but that bigger sound compared to that pointy sound. And the other instrument played so badly and had such poor vibration response that this was a huge like which is so exciting because here I am doing all state. I'm getting into all state. I'm playing this new big horn. All very, very exciting for a middle school person.
That's really awesome. I'm okay. So I'm saving all your pictures right now. So those are your high school years,
So the first two pictures are
right?
from middle school, and then the rest are high school that
Okay.
I sent you.
So let's. What did your sister think when you switched over to baritone? And I'm assuming she played trumpet through high school.
Yeah, I don't think she actually really cared. I don't think she really played the trumpet. I think she had moved out at that point. She's 13 years older than me.
Okay,
So I think
fair
she had
enough.
moved out at that point. Yeah.
So so seventh grade, your mom is carting your little brother to the Christmas concert and to this the All-State band concert. I'm assuming she had him in tow as well.
Yeah, she must have. I mean, you can't just leave a baby places. So
Right?
I don't remember all of that. I remember him very clearly. I don't remember. I remember more when she would take him to the high school concerts, but she must have been. I think it was my eighth grade year when he was born.
That's cool.
Um, like halfway through eighth grade. So I remember she brought him to school events. Like I remember her taking him to my Spanish open house. Not band, but I remember that clearly. So she must have brought him to the band things as well.
How is that like practicing at home with an infant with your baby brother? And I mean, you'd probably have to have a mute or just not be able to practice so much, right?
That was never really a problem. Um, my brother never really cared about the sound. I mean, in eighth grade, did I practice that much? I'm scared to answer that question in case someone young is listening. But I don't. He never really minded the sound. It wasn't really a problem for him, which I'm very grateful for.
That's really awesome. I mean, to be able to not provide any inconvenient moments for your parents like that, and
Yeah,
for her to support you the way she did in carting the baritone around the first couple years,
yeah,
that's really awesome. And that's a really interesting. I mean, usually we get to possibly the first couple years of high school, and we have enough content just for the middle school years. And I think that's really cool. Most students that I find, including myself, don't start. Well, I didn't start till seventh grade. In where I went to in Texas, didn't have music programs till seventh grade,
hmm,
which isn't typical that I find. But most start in sixth grade.
interesting.
Yeah. So for you to start in fifth grade, that's really phenomenal. Man, I can't wait to. I don't want to crush what I've got going now with the series. It just makes it even more intriguing because I have these three amazing photos that you came prepared, which I'm really blessed that you did. And I'm sitting here, I'm like, boy, I really want to dive into this. And maybe we will in the podcast form right after that. So if you're watching this, check out your favorite podcast and listen to Michael Fahrner's interview segments in series. Put them up on the webpage at internationaleuphoniumsummit.com/Michael-Fahrner. Fahrner, and we'll have all that stuff and upcoming events for not only his upcoming recitals over at Temple University, but probably studio recitals. We didn't cover that yet, that are coming up, or you know, whatever other concerts he may be having coming soon. Until next time, everyone, thank you so much for stopping by and checking out this first in series with Michael Fahrner. Michael, thank you so much for coming a part of being our cohort for this
It's a
year's
pleasure.
Euphonium Summit.
Yeah, absolute pleasure. Thank you.
Wow, outstanding. So join us on the podcast. You can find more in the Living History series on YouTube on either side. I don't know which side we'll actually put this on, but take a look. Much grats and thank you so much, everybody. Until next time. Bye, everyone.